Hello and welcome to Credentialing Spectrum, a seamless management tool to help you manage your credentialing and re-credentialing assignments. The following demonstration will give you an overall look into our platform and its multiple advantages and tools necessary for successful credentialing. Let's get started. What you're currently looking at is our login screen. You will go ahead and enter in the username and password and click in on the Sign In button to enter the platform. The very first screen that the user sees is the dashboard. The dashboard allows us to see the provider-wise credentialing based on the status of the assignment, the providers with insurance count along with the provider count, the credentialing task, which allows us to see how many tasks are in the process as it relates to the credentialing assignments based on new, in process, on hold, completed, or custom, as well as the credentialing task aging, which allows us to see how long the credentialing assignment has been in the works. At any given point, the user can click on the area of interest, and the screen will open up with the specifics of that particular number count. As you will see, all of the credentialing detail information is now accessible to the user based on the dashboard. Let's return back to the dashboard for a moment by hitting on the home screen button. At the very top, you will also notice the notification screen. It allows us to see how many notifications are pending, how many follow-ups are currently pending, any task reminders, due tasks, or overdue tasks. We will come back to this area a little bit later. By clicking on the credentialing button, we'll be able to view the credentialing screen for the user. At the very top, you see the credentialing filter criteria, which allows us to search by the client, allows us to search by the specific payer, allows us to search by the specific provider we're trying to credential, by the status of the enrollment application, or by the specific user who is handling the credentialing assignment. Right at the very bottom, you will be able to see the credentialing detail. This information gets updated in the system upon the creation of the new assignment. We will be able to see the client detail information, the provider information within that specific client, as well as any payers we're currently trying to enroll the provider with. At the screen below that, within each specific payer information, you will be able to see the contact details within that payer, any specific remarks that the user has notated, the creation date of that assignment, as well as any follow-up dates. Let's take a look a little bit lower. As you will see that the user has inputted the contact details for Aetna US Healthcare, any specific remarks, latest remarks upon a conversation with that payer, the creation date, as well as the follow-up date. What you will notice over to the right are various populated buttons that allow us to do additional things within the credentialing platform. We're able to access the web link. We're able to open any specific task as it relates to the credentialing assignment. We're able to change the status of the application. We're able to do or update the contact details for the payer. We can add any additional remarks. We can view the life cycle of the credentialing assignment from start to finish. We can print or email. We can add on any attachments, and let's take a look at that a little bit closer. By clicking on the attachment button, the user is taken into the document management portal. You're able to add or delete any specific category to the already imported template within the system, and then within the portal, attach the specific documents which are relevant to the category. If we click on the All category below in the main category option, we're able to view the various documents that are saved as an image within the portal. From this screen, additionally, you can download, print, or email, change the effective date or expiration date on the specific document, add or edit the description, rename the file, or email or fax the specific document to its recipient. We will come back to this section later. So now let's create a new assignment. By clicking on the new client, we have the option to input all the client information, the specific location information, the provider information, and then draw a summary report at the completion. Let's enter the client name. We can enter any client ID or tax ID information. And we also have a More IDs area. If a specific input needs to happen and you do not see it specifically named, we can create more identifications in the caption and value, and then click on the Save button to save what we had just created. Let's add the specialty. And the status. By clicking on the Save button, we have now created our client, and we will see that the record inserted or updated has been successful, and then we can move forward onto the location. You can add multiple locations and select the primary or secondary location for the specific client. Let's go ahead and create a new location. And you will notice that I am only inputting the must fields within the system. Here it allows us to set the primary location or the mailing address. And we will click on Save. Now that the location information has been entered, we will move on to the provider section of the screen, where the user will be able to either manually input the provider information or import a C2h profile from a saved PDF. We will click on New, and go into the Import C2h Profile. The profile should be saved somewhere on the desktop. And I'm going to pull up the C2h summary for this purpose and click on the Import button to import all the data from our PDF. This may take a few seconds. Upon successful import, you will notice the data imported successfully with a message in green. And what you will also notice is that the provider information, along with personal information, professional identification numbers, education, and any further data has been uploaded successfully. It is highlighted in color green when the information has been filled out properly, and any information that has not been imported will show up in black. If there's any additional information you'd like to add to the provider, which either has not been on the C2h profile or any additional information that you think might be relevant for the credentialing assignment, you can click on Custom Fields and add more fields and values to the C2h profile. What you will see is majority of the information has been auto-populated, And if at any given time we need to override that information, we can simply click within the tab and add. What you will also notice is that the provider's name along with the address, city, state, and zip has also been created. You will notice this attachment button right here, and let's click on that and take a look. The attachment button allows us to store any documents that we have on file for the provider. The user can either manually enter that information in by clicking on the plus button, or we can import a specific template that's already been created for us by the administrator. If you click on the Import Attachment Template and click on Select within the template, you will see that we can import either the provider credentials or group information. Let's click on the provider credentials for a moment. You see our subcategories come in. We will simply click on Apply, and that information will automatically be brought into the category area. Within each one of our main categories, we can add subcategories for additional document management tools. At this point, we can click on the category itself, and if we would like to attach a document specific to the DEA information of the provider, we simply click on Attach File and browse within the desktop to search for the DEA document. Now that we have included all of the location, client, and provider information, let's get to work and add some payers to this assignment. We are directed now to the main screen. Let's click on the Insurance tab, and you will see the insurance list will come up. You have the option to create or save your templates as favorites, active or inactive in payers, as well as clicking All, which will list all of the payers that we have in the system. These search criteria allows you to search specifically for a specific payer. So let's add Aetna. We will select the client's name, what we just created, John Smith Medical Group, and we will select the provider we have within that group. And by clicking on the plus button right here, we will now add the Aetna US Healthcare. Let's add one more. Let's save these now. And what I'd also like to point out, anytime we click on the Update button within the payer, we're taken to their insurance detail screen. This information allows us to edit the address if it needs to be done so, or add additional web links or fillable forms that are relevant or currently on file for that payer. If we know the web links, we may add that information in, and if there are certain fillable forms, we can either edit them or add additional forms as are necessary for the enrollment. You will notice under Select Existing Form, we have various forms that may be added to the payer. If we select a specific form, we can click on Save, and that form has now been added to the Aetna payer. So we'll go ahead and click Save here, and go back to our main screen to continue with the credentialing assignment. By filtering the name of the client, we can now view the various enrollment assignments we can begin for the new client that we created under John Smith Medical Group, Dr. Disha Patel. What you will notice is all of these areas are currently blank, so let's start adding some of that information in. Let's move over to the right, and we can change the status of the application first and foremost to new. Let's go ahead and update the contact details. So now we are doing the contact details for Aetna U.S. Healthcare. This information has automatically been saved, and all of the contact details now appear within the screen. Let's move along on to remarks. We'll go ahead and click on New to create a new remark. We will say that we'll set our own reminder to follow up on this particular remark on February 6th at 11:30 a.m. And if you click on your group here, you will be able to see the various users who we may want to send the email to with an auto reminder for the follow-up date. Let's go ahead and click Save. As you will notice, the remark has been formulated. We can click on the close screen, and the remark is now in the system. Additionally, you will be able to see the created date for the initial enrollment. The status is new, and we also have the follow-up date for when we need to follow up on this particular reminder. What you will notice is within the system, we have a task button at every open area within the portal, whether it's client, provider, or any new tasks that we might want to add. If we click on the Open Task button, it allows us to see any tasks we currently have pending for this provider. We can click on Add Task, and the task detail allows us to put in the category of the task, the start date, the specific status, the client, the payer, the subject line, the priority, the due date for the task, and you will be able to input as the user the percentage completed as you update this task moving forward. We can also set up follow-up reminders in regards to this task. And click on the Save. Our task has now been successfully created. And if we assign the task to a specific user, we can then track the task and its life cycle. Additionally, we can export the various reports that are currently in the credentialing process. By clicking on the Export button, we can see the information that we had just created, the status, the contact information for the payer, and any specific remarks that are currently pending. This information can then be emailed to the client or saved for our own records. Let's click on the PDF forms for just one moment. In the PDF forms, if we remember, we selected the various forms that we want for that specific payer. If we click on any one of the forms, the system has the functionality of auto-populating the provider information within the form. At this area, if any other updates needs to happen, we can successfully save the updated record and print or email this information directly to the payer. Take another look at a form. So in an overview, this is the workflow of how to create, manage a credentialing or re-credentialing assignment. What you will see here additionally is the task management option at the very top. If you click on that screen, you will be able to see all the various tasks that are currently pending with their status, with their priority, the completed percentage of the task, as well as the start date, the due date, the specific assignee, and then the various things that you can do with that task, such as add an attachment, view the life cycle, update, or delete the task. Additionally, we can custom create our own attachment templates on every level, whether it's client, location, or provider, for the document management component of this portal. By clicking on New, we can custom create the template and import it in both the client, location, task, provider, or credentialing, and create subcategories to begin. When we click on the Save button, that information will automatically be saved successfully. And under our attachment template, our new template name has been created. Anytime we can edit this template or delete it. Let's take a look at the mailing templates. This is another amazing tool that we have created. At any given time, the user can create specific templates, whether it's a welcome letter, an update address, new provider enrollment, and have that information as a template then emailed or faxed out to the designated recipient. At any given time, you can edit the template to make any changes or create new templates for its specific use. Let's look at the PDF mapping arena. This allows us to map the various forms that we have on file, whether it's from the C2h Profile format, various client fields, or the client location. By simply selecting the state, we can view all the specific PDF forms that are assigned, and then by selecting the name on the left side with the column and selecting the name within the fields arena, by clicking on the arrow button over, we will be able to map the fields so that the information in the PDF forms will be auto-populated. If we need to at any given time remove that, we can click on the arrow back and the information will be unmasked. Additionally, within the Clinic Spectrum credentialing platform, we're able to run numerous reports for the users. The reports range in variety from the credentialing detail, from the client summary, from the credentialing expiration dates, or the provider's reports, which allows us to select by client and provider and view the details of the reports. The reporting functionality is fully customizable, so if there are any specific reports that are in dire need for the client, we can most definitely create those as needed. Let's click on the credentialing detail for a moment and select the client. By clicking on the preview button, the report will be generated and will allow us to see all of the various remarks, the follow-up dates, and the statuses of the various payers for that particular provider. Let's look at the client summary for a moment. The client credentialing summary report allows us to see an overall view of the clients, their specific providers, the payers we currently have for the credentialing, as well as the status and any provider IDs that we have on file. Please note any of this information can be saved or printed as needed. Additionally, we have Insurance Management Screen that allows us to view, update, or delete any payer information, as well as add new, save as favorite, indicate active or inactive insurances that we currently have on file. The Clients Arena allows us to see all of the clients that we have within the system, update their personal information, update the provider or the type, whether it's group or individual, as well as delete the record if it's no longer needed. This pretty much completes the Credentialing Spectrum demo. For any additional help, the user may click the Help screen at any given time to view the Credentialing Spectrum user manual or contact our support for any additional questions one may have with the Credentialing Spectrum product platform. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to hearing from you.